clarify some of those things from your school district. Now, what my ask is, or what my suggestion is you have tremendous influence as an elected body, as commissioners, and even more so as individuals. I recognize that there are many divergent opinions regarding, mandates and the constitutionality, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I would really like is just encouragement as an elected body and as individuals that, hey, this is a tough spot right now. And Mr. Bullis, I agree with you. Can we do anything to completely stop this? I really doubt it. But can we do things to try to make it easier as a community to make life as normal as possible until the next best day happens? And that, I believe the answer is yes. And so from the school district, our ask is simply, can you publicly encourage people to stay home when they're sick? We have a problem. We have parents who will send their kids knowingly to school sick. And then 2 days later, guess what? The kid tests positive. And then guess what? I got to shut down a classroom.
That's a sensible.
Okay? I would really appreciate that. I would appreciate your encouragement for people to adhere to wearing masks. I'm not asking you to mandate that. I would appreciate you publicly encouraging that, you know what, for a short period of time, maybe this is what we need to do. The last thing that I wanted to do for my students was tell them to wear masks again. I mean, I'll tell you what, in June and July, I was the happiest guy walking around this town because I thought, oh my gosh, we're going to have a normal school year again. And then every single day after that, it was worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And I mean, we really didn't have a choice. Okay? And it's not about kowtowing to anyone. It's not about the politics. It's just about what's practical. So I appreciate encouragement to stay home when you're sick. I'd appreciate encouragement when Dr. Coons does need to quarantine people, that we could maybe ask members of our community to respect that and please adhere to that for the good of everybody. And I would appreciate encouragement that, you know what, regardless of your politics, maybe we could all wear a mask again for a little bit. 30 days sounds reasonable. I would love to be able to lift that mandate for my schools in 30 days. There's nothing that would make me happier. But as I was saying, the proliferation in the schools is a reflection of the proliferation in the community. And unless we come together on that, I just don't see that changing. So I know that you have many things other than the schools. The schools is my thing, right? So I'm standing here being selfish and saying this is what would help us as the schools. And I would like your support on that, acknowledging that you have many other things on your plate. Thank you.
I'd like to say one more thing, like regardless of where we're at, disagreement, we all have our own, we all come from our own corner, and I don't hold anything against anybody here if they see it differently. Right. If I've got heated in the past, I apologize. It's just this issue is one of them that's hard to swallow. Wherever you're at and trying to find a solution. Like I said, whenever Darren wants, I'll make my motion that we therapeutics. I'm not going to be with you on the mask. That's my opinion, and that's how I'm going to vote. But I think it's a productive discussion, and we'll see what motions go and which don't, and we'll go on from there and work together as friends, not enemies.
Appreciate that.
Here. The DA's office maybe can help. I remember vaguely that District Attorney Beecher pointed out that this could be a real rat's nest if we have to roll back and re-evaluate our plan.
Correct.
So it feels probably more intelligent, more clean to leave the plan as is, and we don't have to have it written in the plan to do more, to do like suggested to do these other things. The written plan was purely procedural for the state's benefit, not for what we do on the ground, but I'm just curious.
Right, and if any changes to that plan are made, then it would come from the appropriate agencies or people that the public health department is working with. That's correct. But there's been a few suggestions made that haven't been really clarified, but and we're open on 1 and 2, so if we're going to start with motions and so forth, I would recommend we do number 1 is, are we going to approve consider amending. And then if what you're saying is, that we're not going to, then there might be other actions taken, so.
Would the, putting up the partitions fall under amending?
No, it'd be under 2.
I'd say most of this is under 2, because in the plan, we say we meet if hospital capacity reaches that, so we're covered.
So,
Tell you what,
okay,
let's get this moving along. I'll make a motion to approve to consider amending the mitigation and enforcement plan to fight the COVID bed capacity at William B. Riley Hospital. I make that motion.
and
I think-
you want it, you're for amending
I
the
think
plan?
where we're gonna have our motions and the actions is really gonna be in 2, because
Yeah, but don't we have to do
We
number
don't
one
have
to
to amend
consider?
our
We
plan
can
to
just
do more.
use, yeah,
We
we
can
can
just
just
do
use the
more
first
stuff.
one.
Okay, then
It's
number
just
one
a,
is,
it's a legal rat's nest to have to redo that plan and send it back to the state.
Yeah, number
Yeah,
2 doesn't
so
require amending the local mitigation.
we'll just leave number 1
Right,
as
and number
discussion.
one is
Okay.
discussion,
so
right?
number one is
So you
discussion.
withdraw the motion.
I withdraw that motion,
Okay.
that's a discussion.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, let's go ahead.
So I would say, as a chairman, I can make the motion, is that correct?
No.
I cannot as a chairman? Just
So,
that- Go ahead then.
I'll make the motion that every active case that comes through, that those folks are given the choices and the opportunities to get Regeneron, ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine in a timely manner, as quickly as possible. And that with that, we roll that information out on Darren's postings and everywhere else, that please come get tested, then we can give you treatment, give you the option to have one of these treatments, and also expand that to your immediate household, since they're assumed positive as well.
The only caveat I'd add, or try to amend your motion, would be that if they are accepted medically, we cannot tell a doctor, you will give patient A hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin, Regeneron. It still has to have that
Yeah,
medical
absolutely.
judgment and standard of care.
Options
But
are
maybe
made
making it
available.
more available.
Yes, just
I mean,
bringing,
there's Regeneron out there and the
putting,
such.
putting it on the postings, come get tested, then we can get you hooked up with one of these, and just making it so everyone's aware and out there,
Okay.
and that it's gonna encourage people to get tested at the first onset of symptoms, that, hey, there's actually something I can do. No one here wants to end up in the hospital,
There's
let's,
something you can do to
let's,
help
have
limit the
therapeutics
spread.
available.
so that is my motion. I would ask that we take a vote on that. If someone wants to bring one for a mask, please do. I won't vote for it, but that's.
The motion was that we increase the public knowledge, when they test positive, that there are treatments available to reduce symptoms, to help them, overcome the virus sooner, et cetera, something more professional.
You could add your motion, Lori's.
Yeah, I was
suggestion.
Oh,
gonna say,
with
if
the-
we're, if
The
I
partitions?
know that it'll be shot down if I make a motion to do 30 days for masks. So with that said, I would like to do that, but in place of that, I would like to have those partitions put back up,
Good, can't hurt.
because
fair
I
enough.
can't
Why don't you
control.
make that a separate motion?
Because we can do multiple
Don't
motions.
know.
You can do multiple motions,
Yeah, we-
so it's not,
Okay.
Yeah, we can. Okay.
Yeah, you can have more than one motion under that.
Can we pass multiple,
Okay, so approval to implement steps and strategies. So
Yes.
you're
you just do
doing
it
a
as.
motion to approve steps and strategies, and then you want to get into separate motions to make it clear which steps and strategies that you're agreeing on.
yeah.
You can include that
Yeah,
if you
just-
want.
Yeah, and I'll amend my motion to include what Darren said, that, we have to go through the proper medical channels, and then that in our county offices, we put back the plexiglass partitions.
You want to make it one big motion?
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
we can do that.
Yeah.
And maybe that would just be an administrative thing, Elizabeth, so far as checking to see that we have enough sanitizing stations or containers.
And I'll also add on to that, just to speak to the concerns that we've heard, that, in our updates and our postings, that we just encourage that, obviously we make it clear that there's problems capacity-wise out at the hospital, and that we encourage citizens to take the precautions that fits their health, and that they, just be conscientious and not go somewhere sick.
Yeah, yep. I'll second that
I've got a first by Commissioner Ganon, second by Commissioner Bolus, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. Other strategies?
Question, that's included, I didn't really hear it like spelled out, that we are supporting the school district with their mask mandates.
Yeah,
And
it's a different board,
encourage.
yeah, I mean,
I
don't.
think that's a
I don't wanna-
different vote,
We
Commissioner
can
Carson.
do that, I'm not gonna say one way or the other of the school district, that's controlled by their board, and
Well,
that's what they wanna do.
that we encourage, I
Would
would
you
like
like
to
to make that
encourage,
motion?
yes, and that we encourage the follow-through with that, with their families, our families, outside.
I don't know.
Encourage.
I think but included in that motion was that we encouraged
People
people
to
to
take steps.
take steps
That they deem necessary.
to mitigate the spread.
I feel like we need to be better worded than that.
I think we need to utilize every media outlet possible by the county, if it costs us a few bucks or whatever, that we take every option, be it Facebook, whatever you do, radio, and that the county as a whole put out a statement that we encourage you to vaccinate, encourage you to be tested, encourage, but we want them to take every step possible for the safety of their children, of themselves, of everybody else. But we need to get the statement out there that we as a county, that our job, and the hospital's different, and the school's district, and everybody else, but we're here today to say we are aware of the critical stage that we're in. And we as a county encourage every citizen to be tested, every citizen to be vaccinated. We encourage it. Now, are we mandating it? No. But we need to really get out there to every media outlet that we can possibly reach, and that this board as a whole encourages every citizen to take every step necessary to protect themselves and their family.
I can be behind that statement specifically,
But we list all the options.
but I can't in good conscience personally, first of all, I'm not a doctor, so I won't recommend anybody get a vaccine, that's between them and their doctor. So I can't recommend that, I'm not putting myself out there for malpractice.
But can you encourage it?
No, I can encourage them to take steps that they think are necessary after they've consulted their doctor, and I'm fine with that.
I would just say that we encourage you to look into these options and do what's best for your health and list the options.
That's it, yep.
I like that.
And then that
I
way,
support that.
Yeah,
What you wanna do?
encourage people to educate themselves, explore the options and make a decision, but encourage them to not just say, no, hell no, without actually doing some research,
Sure.
you know?
Yep.
They look at all options and make an educated decision.
Yeah, what Travis said.
Yeah.
That's a motion, I'll second it.
so, yeah, just to clarify, I guess it's kind of overlapping what we said in the first one, but just in all our outreach and media, that we highly encourage folks to evaluate which option is best for their health. And we can list those options, we say, here are your options: vaccinations, therapeutics, early detection testing, staying home when sick, wearing your mask if you want, quarantining, all these different things that we've all discussed here today, be listed in those, and that, just to increase that awareness and let them know that there is a problem, and, let's come together under which option you think is best to help ease this situation.
Second.
So I have a first by Commissioner, I don't know, was it Bolus or Gadon, then finalize it. Gadon, seconded by Commissioner Carson, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? As the chairman, can I make a motion?
No.
No, you have to have somebody make the motion. You ask for a motion.
Okay, I'd like a vote. Commissioner Howe, we propose the vote that we put a mask mandate in the county for 30 days.
In the county buildings?
Okay, no, I'm saying the whole
Yeah.
county.
I would like to do the best we can, so yeah, I would make that motion that we implement for a 30-day period, a mask mandate in all county facilities.
I believe Darren's talking the whole,
I'm talking the whole county as a whole.
every business,
I
every.
don't know that I can do that because we can't tell a business what they wanna do. We can do what White Pine County does. The school board can do what they do.
Okay.
So the motion would be by me, because that's the only authority I would
Okay.
have, is that we, for 30 days, we mandate masks in all county facilities. And I'll make
I'll
that
take that
motion,
motion.
whether I get a second or not, that's what I'll do.
Can I second his motion,
No,
Mr.
I
District
can't.
Attorney?
I'll second it.
Okay.
You can.
So I have a first motion by Commissioner Howe that we implement a 30-day mask period for all our county employees, seconded by Commissioner Carson. All in favor?
Can I'm sorry, I heard and I wrote the motion down as implement a 30-day mask mandate within all county buildings. I didn't hear it specific to county employees. So are we saying that?
Well, I think that they're in the building, they have to have a mask on,
But
just
you
as a
just
public.
repeated to county employees, so we're saying all county buildings, all people, correct?
Everyone that walks in the door, is that
Thank you.
what the motion is?
Are you saying that, or are you talking about the employees?
I'm talking because I can't put a mask mandate on a guy in the road department out doing what he's
No,
doing.
and I wouldn't
In-
expect
in
a
the-
guy on a grader to do
In
that.
county facilities, that's
In our building, we're gonna require masks for the next 30
30
days.
days, oh,
Employee, non-employee, Joe Q public walks in the door.
in the buildings only.
So it's still the first by Commissioner Howe, seconded by Commissioner Carson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
No.
So his motion passes 4-2.
And just to be clear, I'm not, call me the devil, I'm not gonna put a mask on. That's me. If me and Ian go to jail, I guess we do, but that's where I'm
Do
at.
a private tour of the new facility.
Good luck.
Okay.
So that's just where I'm at. I don't have any criticisms of anybody that just want to put that out there that don't expect
You
us
will,
to.
you should be asked, Commissioner Godon, as you enter the building to put a mask on, and it's your choice at that point if you disregard that.
Perfect.
And the DA's office has already put out their edict of what they're going to be doing. So you can't throw somebody down. And all we wanna do is, if, just like any store, you go in the Prospector, there's a sign on the damn door, masks required. You step in, you go in to eat, you don't take it off. So that's all. You walk in to do business at the treasurer's office, you wear a mask, walk in a county building. Simple. For 30 days.
30 days, we're gonna try that. Great,
Okay.
thank you.
That's a good.
Do we have any other motions that need to be made? I would suggest a motion that this commission comes out in support of the school district in doing all that they can do to educate and maintain the health and well-being of our children, and maybe some kind of motion of that nature, if one of you were willing to try to do that.
I don't know that it requires a motion, but I can publicly say that some of the board members are friends of mine. I consider Mr. Young a friend, and we can disagree, and we can, in the heat of battle, things get wild, but I do love and support you guys, and I know that you're doing what you have to do.
I thought
Which is
that-
why I clarified, not everybody's as obnoxious as I am, I just tell you what I feel.
But Travis, wasn't that in your first motion, and then we clarified that making it more public so far as, and then,
I think I'm good with it, just that it doesn't endorse any approach, because all that does is divide. It just
Right.
lists all the
We're
approaches.
recognizing their right to do what they think is best.
Okay, that's cool. I can make that.
And I want to say that, as much, we disagree or whatnot, but I do appreciate Darren. He puts up with a lot of shit.
Yep.
And, I do appreciate that, he is in the spot, and,
Yep.
I don't want to think that that just because we disagree, that I don't appreciate what his efforts are, and I do want to thank
Yeah.
you and also all the hospital staff, because it is a difficult situation, and hats off to them, and, I do want to make that absolutely clear, that we have our disagreements, but it doesn't mean that we're not appreciative.
You know, that's an important distinction to make, is that it's not a lack of support, it's not a lack of appreciation, but if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, as the country song goes,
Yeah,
so
that's a good one.
we can all stand for what we believe, so.
So, do we have any other discussion or motions? Or can we close item 2 and move on?
I think we're good.
Okay, seeing none, I suggest we open line, item 3, discussion possible action, ratification of quarantine orders from the public health officer since our last meeting, essentially.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Motion by Commissioner Bolus, seconded by Commissioner Godon to approve the quarantine orders since last meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. Discussion for approval of minutes from the last meeting held July 21st, 2021.
Move to approve.
Second.
First by Commissioner Carson, or Godon, seconded by Commissioner Carson. All in favor to approve the minutes?
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. And now we have public comment. If there's anybody in the audience or online that has public comment, please step forward.
Thank you. Dr. Coons, this question is to you. I read on Facebook that some of the staff working at the hospital have quite a concern with COVID impact, and that those working in the maternity ward have concerns that would affect women going there for childbirth and possibly curtailing that service. Is that true? The other question I have is, a lot of the problems we have in this community is coming from you folks. Individually, you have your right to protest, have your own ideas, but you're in a battle here. This battle may turn into a full-fledged war. The school district is coming under fire, which I didn't know they had that many cases. In the business community, I've had to sign up in the window for months. Please do not enter without a face mask. And I give masks away. And you know what they tell me? Don't worry, George. The county commission said we don't have to and they can take care of it. You guys are the damn problem. Your individual thoughts are fine. But when you come onto a governing board and you know that there's a known problem, whether you like the procedures that need to be followed, you have to abide by them. You have to encourage the populace. Look, we can mitigate what we've got. We live in a small community. We're very lucky overall. I have family in Denver. I've lost a relative. They were vaccinated. I have family in Salt Lake City that work at Dinner Mountain. They see what's going on in those hospitals day in, day out. People that come out of there 30 days, 60 days later don't know how to talk or swallow. My family helped part of that group. You guys aren't being realistic. If you watch national TV, the different areas that are being impacted, what the hospitals are going through, I don't want that here. I don't want any of these people to go through that. Simple wearing the mask, encouraging sanitation, and we can't do that. We're worried about our individual rights. Get off the board. You guys, what are you going to tell a pregnant woman who can't go to the hospital because of concerns? Suck it up. Breathe. You people better change your attitude. What your personal ideas are is fine. Nothing wrong with that. But when you sit on this governing board, you have an obligation to this county, this community as a whole. At a recent meeting, the mayor of the city of Ely wanted to spend $200,000 in advertising to encourage people to get vaccination. What the heck for? You guys are killing them. That's money down the drain. 200,000, baloney. Good, proper procedure from you folks, encouraging the minimum. You're right. You don't have to put out a mandate. You will give vaccination, but you can encourage it, and you're not doing that. You better remember where your status is in the food chain. Thank you.
Thanks, George. Any other further comment?
Yes, I'd like to make a public comment if I could please. During the course of the meeting today, it was stated that the county is utilizing funds from ARPA to go ahead and build a building. Although I'd like to say that that is correct. It's a public health building so that we can facilitate drive-through vaccinations without our public health personnel being standing in the street during the middle of winter snowstorms, and so that people coming into public health don't try and come through an entire business office to get services if they should be infected. Because even though there are signs on the door, people will walk right back to the office. So the funds are being used to mitigate the issues that we see related to public health and public health delivery.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Elizabeth, you beat me to it. I was gonna comment on that, because even when Shannon said on, I think it was Shannon that said on the phone, that in their back alleyway, I did not like the way that sounded, and that just reaffirmed that we were doing the right thing for public health,
Perfect.
so.
Did we have a comment online?
Yes, Burton Hilton.
Yes, Dr. Coons, this is Burton Hilton. I just was hoping from you and the board, just a quick clarification on the mask order for 30 days in county facilities. Does that apply to vaccinated as well as unvaccinated?
Everyone.
Okay, copy. I just wanted to make sure of that. Thank you.
Other public comment? Seeing none, we have a move to adjourn.
Second.
Good on first, Hal second, and all in favor of getting out of here.
I sort of jumped in the fray there, but now I sat there too late.
Appreciate
This has been a Georgetown production. George Chachis reporting.